Hey guys, this is Bobby. Here's part 4. Now, I'm going to talk about Kaizoku Sentai Gokaiger, who, and as you guys know, it just ended 5 months ago. Now, it was the 35th anniversary Super Sentai series. It takes place after a really big war where the previous 34 teams battled out the Zangiak Empire and sacrificed their powers in order to stop them. And a few years later, the Zangiak fleet empire has returned, led by Wars Gil, the son of the emperor. But unfortunately, what they didn't anticipate on were a group of 5 pirates named Captain Marvelous, Joe Gibkin, Luca Milfi, Don Dogoyer, and Im de Famille. I might add, was the princess, and she was the Pink Ranger. Luca was yellow, Don was green, Joe was blue and second in command, and Captain Marvelous was, of course, red. Now, they would transform using cell phones called the Mobirates and have Ranger keys. And I should mention that what makes them apart from the other Sentai teams is that, like Kamen Rider Decade, they can literally become their predecessors, because the powers disperse throughout the universe. And Captain Marvelous, while went about retrieving them alongside Aka Red, who is the embodiment of all the Red Rangers. And as a lot of you know, he appeared in the 30th anniversary team-up movie involving the Bookengers 5 years before. Anyway, he mentored Captain Marvelous. I should mention they had a mechanical parrot, of course, who Marvelous called Bird, but his real name was Navi, and Navi would give clue. And I should mention they were looking for the greatest treasure in the universe, which was said to be on Earth, and they went about looking for it. Well, as soon as they arrived, they asked the people of Earth for it, but they didn't know what it was. And when the Zangiak began attacking against Captain even though Marvelous didn't want to, he was convinced to help out some teachers and a group of little kids, and went about kicking the Zangiak's butt. Namely a monster whose name I can't really remember at the moment, Shikabanin, I think. And I should have mentioned they had like 2 sets of foot soldiers, Gorman sailors and Zugorman. Zugorman were a little more intelligent, bigger, and blue. Anyway, and they went about fighting them, and well, then they started looking for. I should mention that they had 5 Zords, of course. Forgive me for calling them that. It's just easier for me. Their ship, which was a red pirate ship, that was actually Marvelous's Zord. Joe had a jet. Luca had a tractor trailer. I'm talking like Optimus Prime, kind of. Actually, the trailer, the cab, actually looked like a treasure chest. Dawn had a race car, and Princess Im, who was the last surviving member of her family, because Zangiak destroyed her homeworld. She had a submarine. But anyway, they formed Gokaiyo, and the Megazord was Gokaiyo. But anyway, with Navi's help, they went about. Navi would give like clues to find the treasure, but it was actually to unlock the great power of the previous Sentai series and teams. The first one was, of course, the Magi Rangers, and many past Sentai actors reprised their roles. Mostly those who played Marvelous's predecessors, including Kakeru Shishi. I can't remember. Gao Red. Of course, Geki Red. Even Go Pink of Go-Go 5. Anyway, eventually they also encounter Basco Tal Jolokia, who actually was a crewmate of Marvelous's until he betrayed Marvelous and Aka Red. And he was also looking for the great powers, and he eventually managed to get a hold of 5. I won't say which. But he had a space monkey that could create these giant monsters. And Sally was an interesting character, I should mention. And also, Zangiak would often send the various action commanders, which were the monsters, Some of them were actually related to the previous Sentai teams. Like one was actually the son of a monster, of a villain from a team up. In this case, the Geki Ranger Bukenger one. You know, the successor of the leader of the Guy Arc. You know, of Goanger. You know, those guys, and also the sons of two members of Kanja from Hurricaneger. And actually, in the two-part episode, the Gokaigers and the three Hurricanegers teamed up. And I should also mention that eventually they were joined up by an Earthling who was a Super Sentai fanboy. He risked his life to save a little girl, and he was given the approval. He was deemed worthy by Dragon Ranger of Zeo Ranger, Abba Killer from Abba Ranger, and Timefire of Time Ranger to become Gokai Silver. Now, at first, Marvelous didn't want him on the team, but he proved himself, and well, he gained three. And he also had, I should mention, had also great power of those three teams. And you know, they just went about saving the world. This part's just gone on a little too long, so I'm really sorry. I'm going to end part 4 and talk about more next. But like I said, overall, Gokaiger was a great series, and I can't wait to see them teaming up with the Go Busters, not just in the Super Sentai Kamen Rider movie, of course. But if you guys want to hear more of my thoughts on Gokaiger, just ask. Okay. Part 4 is over.